The AFP's role, as I'm sure everyone is aware, is to investigate breaches of Commonwealth criminal law. We investigate laws passed by the Parliament, using powers granted to us by the Parliament. Our investigations are an objective search for the truth.
Dad, what's wrong with the telly?
It involves the discovery and presentation of evidence in an exhaustive, comprehensive and organised manner. And this often...
Good evening, London.
And this often includes the execution of search warrants. No sector of the community should be immune for this type of activity or evidence collection more broadly. This includes law enforcement itself, the media, or indeed even politicians. There are criminal allegations being investigated and we cannot ignore them.
I enjoy them as much as any bloke. But in the spirit of commemoration,
Who's that, Mum?
whereby those important events of the past, usually associated with someone's death or the end of some awful bloody struggle, are celebrated with a nice holiday, I thought we could mark this November the 5th, a day that is sadly no longer remembered, by taking some time out of our daily lives to sit down and have a little chat.
We are duty-bound to conduct these investigations impartially and thoroughly. Not to do so would be a breach of our oath of office as police officers.
There are, of course, those who do not want us to speak.
Let me
I
think.
suspect even now orders are being shouted into telephones and men with guns will soon be on their way.
It's Chancellor Sutler.
Damn it.
Why? Because while the truncheon may be used in lieu of conversation, words will always retain their power. Words offer the means to meaning, and for those who will listen, the enunciation of truth. And the truth is, there is something terribly wrong with this country's
Can you tell us, did anyone from the government or any department head contact the AFP seeking an update?
Certainly, the timing is... I made the decision of timing. That was my decision in my substantive position. No, I did not. It did not factor in the election. In relation to notifications of government, I can assure you there were no updates. In relation to updates of secretaries of government agencies, to the best of my... Certainly I did not update them, but I'd have to be careful here because I would be surprised if our investigators at some stage did not have some conversations with the referring agencies, as I would expect.
cruelty, injustice, intolerance, and depression. And where once you had the freedom to object, to think and speak as you saw fit, you now have censors and systems of surveillance coercing your conformity and soliciting your submission.
We need cameras.
How did this happen? Who's to blame? Well, certainly there are those who are more responsible than others. They will be held accountable. But again, truth be told, if you're looking for the guilty, you need only look into a mirror. I know why you did it. I know you were afraid. Who wouldn't be? War, terror, disease. There were a myriad of problems which conspired to corrupt your reason and rob you of your common sense.
Can I just ask you that it strikes me that a story about the behaviour of our SAS troops abroad that might have involved the murder of innocents and a discussion of whether one of our agencies might be retasked to spy on Australian citizens are of prime public importance. Are you saying that the public interest would have been better served had those two pieces of journalism not appeared?
No, I've never said that. What I'm saying is we have investigated a criminal offence. And I think I said at the outset, and correct me if I didn't, that we're investigating the criminality. Now, the issue of public interest is a matter that we do consider, and I have said that we consider that at various phases through the investigation. I will also say that in relation to one of those matters in particular, there is also some very sensitive personal information that has found its way into the hands of people who probably shouldn't have it. And I'm concerned about that, as are those individual members. So we've got to take in consideration, as I said as well, individual privacy here is paramount as well.
So where will the merit of these stories be factored in, Assistant Commissioner, and how? Where and how will the merit of the public merit of the stories be weighed?
Look, it's a good question, and I think the public interest, as I've said, is part of the consideration that we do during the course of our investigation. If we determine there is sufficient evidence to run a prosecution, and we've got a long way to go before we get there, it is then a consideration of the Commonwealth Director of Public Prosecution before they determine.
His hope was to remind the world that fairness, justice, and freedom are more than words. They are perspectives. So if you've seen nothing, if the crimes of this government remain unknown to you, then I would suggest that you allow. But if you see what I see, if you feel as I feel, and if you would seek as I seek, then I ask you to stand beside me. 1 year.